Hi, friends. Oh, I'm so glad you came today because I have a super fun game for us to play. Are you ready? It's called True or False. Okay, now if something's true, that means it's totally real. So we're going to go ahead and put a thumbs up if it's true. If it's false, that means that it is not true. It's not real. So we're going to put a thumbs down if it's false. Are you ready? Get your thumbs ready. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to read a statement and you tell me, is it true or is it false? And you can go ahead and move your thumb either way. So, trees can walk. Ooh, is that true or false? Trees can walk. Now, right away, when you hear a statement and you're trying to decide, your brain should turn right on and you should start thinking, what do you know about trees? Can trees walk? Friends, is that true or false? Let me see your thumbs. Yeah, that's false. Totally. Trees cannot walk. Okay, they don't have legs. All right, good job. All right, let's try another one. True or false? Fish can swim. Hmm. Fish can swim. True or false? Well, get your brain going. What do you know about fish? Well, I know that fish live in water. So if they're going to be moving around, can they swim? Is that true or false? Yes, it's true. Good job, friends. Yes, it is true. That's how they move through the water. Okay, what about this one? A dog says meow. Is that true or false? Does a dog say meow? Right away, I'm thinking about Chip. And I know that Chip, I don't think that he meows. He's way too loud. So is that true or false? Does a dog say meow? That is false. That's totally false. All right, you're really good at this game, friends. All right, what about this one? Oh, okay. 6 minus something is equal to 2, and something plus 2 is equal to 6. So is it true or false that the same number is going to fill in the unknown in both of those number sentences? Ooh, well, this got a little bit harder, right? Our brain really has to think back because we have to think about what do we know about numbers and finding the unknown that can help us figure out this answer. Well, our learning goal for today is going to help us out with that because our learning goal says I can find the unknown using related facts. All right, so what does that even mean? Well, okay, so when I'm thinking about whether or not the unknown in both of these number sentences is going to be the same number, I got to first figure out what I'm working with to try to figure out how I can use one answer to help me find the other one. So I'm not going to get stressed out by trying to answer both questions at the same time. I'm just going to go ahead and look at the first question, okay? So the first question, the first number sentence says 6 minus something is equal to 2. And I'm going to use my counting six. Can you use your counting six with me? So I'm going to just say 6, and then I'm going to put up a counting stick as I count back to 2. And when I get to 2, I'm just going to stop. All right, ready? Can you do it with me? Get your counting six. Here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Stop. Okay, I love counting six. Okay, so what is my unknown number? 6 minus what equals 2? How many did we have to count back? Yeah, look at your counting six. 4. Perfect job. So I know 6 minus 4 is equal to 2. Okay, I got one answer done. I got that one figured out in that number sentence. And now I'm going to think about what I know about how numbers work together to see if it's going to help me find the unknown in the other number sentence. So, thinking about numbers. Oh, I know there's a really helpful tool that can help us organize how numbers are connected together, and that is a number bond, right? That looks familiar. The total amount is at the top, and then the two parts that we add together will make the total. Well, in this number sentence, what was our total amount? What did we start with? Yeah, we started with 6, and then we counted back until we got to 2, right? Because that's what we knew. And our unknown is what we counted back, right? And that was 4. So 6 was the total amount, and 4 and 2 were the parts. And they're all connected, right? And a fancy way of saying that is to say that they're all related. Okay, that's a big word for us today. It's new. So that is our fancy word for the day, related. Can you go ahead and say that word? Related. Yeah, and related is just a really fancy, cool way of meaning that they're connected in some way. I like to think of related like a little house because usually everyone living in a house together is connected in some way, right? So when I think of that little number bond in my mind, I just picture a little house, and that reminds me that they're related. And if I know that they're related or connected in some way, that will help me find an unknown with numbers that are the same working together. So, for example, if I know that 6 minus 4 is equal to 2, and I know that all of these numbers are related, I know that whatever I'm going to add to 2 for my unknown in my other number sentence is going to equal the 6. So, since I already figured out the other part was 4, what will I be adding to 2 to equal 6? Yeah, 4, because they're related, right? The number bond shows me that. 4 was the other part that works with 2 to make 6. So thinking back to our question for our game, the unknown in both of these number sentences was 4. So it was the same. So that was true. Okay, I know this is a lot to think about. And it can feel really overwhelming. And sometimes friends get stressed when we start talking about related facts. I don't want you to do that. We're going to take it bit by bit, piece by piece to help figure it out. Okay? So let's start over. So if we have a number bond and say that number bond is 7, 4, and 3, I'm going to press pause. Can you explain to your buddy or just out loud what all these different pieces of the number bond mean? Which one's the total amount and which ones are the parts? Press pause while I do that and press play when you're ready. Okay, perfect. So 7 is the total amount and 4 and 3 are the parts, right? We add those together, we make 7. They all work together. And since they're all connected in some way, they're that new fancy word, which is related, right? Yes, they're related. Okay, they're connected together in some way. So since they're all connected, we can actually make so many number sentences. Today we're going to make 2 subtraction sentences and then 2 addition sentences using what we know about how they're connected or related. Okay, I know. I told you that's a lot of work to do, but we're going to take it one number sentence at a time. So are you ready? Right now, what I'd like you to do, I want you to go ahead and press pause. And I want you to go ahead and get a dry erase board and a marker, piece of paper, and a pencil, because I'm going to have you build these number sentences with me. Okay? All right. Did you get your stuff? All right, perfect. Now, in the middle of your board, I do not want you to build that house. Okay? That's just what the picture is in our brain. But I would like you to make the number sentence. Can you make, or sorry, the number bond. Can you write the number bond 7 as the total amount and then the parts of 4 and 3? Can you do that? Press pause if you need to. Press play when you're ready. Okay, do you have your number bond? Okay, awesome. Don't worry about writing all those different number sentences yet. We're going to build them together. Okay, put your marker down, put your pencil down. So let's look at this first number sentence, the first subtraction one. What do we already know? Well, we already know that 7 is the total amount, right? Because we have the total amount. We're going to subtract some unknown, and then we already know one of the parts. What part do we know? Yeah, we know 4. Okay, so if we know the number bond is 7, 4, and 3, and we know 7 and 4, what's the other part that we don't know yet for our number sentence? Yes, 3. Good job. So see, we use what we know about related facts in a number bond to help us finish that number sentence. On your board or your piece of paper right now, can you write the number sentence 7 minus 3 equals 4? Perfect. Good job. Okay, so now go ahead and after that, you put your marker down, your pencil down. We're going to go ahead and we're going to think about the other subtraction sentence. See it on the other side? Okay, what do we already know? We already know 7. That's the total amount. And then we're subtracting a part. What part are we subtracting? Yep, we're subtracting 4. Perfect. So what is that going to equal? Well, it'll equal the other part. Can you go ahead and press pause? Can you write that subtraction sentence and then press play to check yourself? Okay, did you finish that number sentence? All right, we had 7 minus 4. So what does that equal? Yeah, it's going to equal 3, our other part. Okay, we are rocking those subtraction sentences. Let's talk about some addition sentences. So down at the bottom, we see something plus 4 is equal to 7. So I'm going to go back to my related facts. I know they're all connected in that number bond. So what do I already know? Well, I already know 4, one of the parts that I add to something, and that's going to equal the total amount, which is 7. So what's the unknown that I don't know, friends? Okay. Can you go ahead and press pause? Can you write a number sentence, the addition one, that fills in the part plus 4 equals 7? When you do that, can you press play to check yourself? Okay, so we knew the part 4, we know the total amount 7. So knowing what we do about related facts in a number bond, what's our number sentence? Yep, perfect. 3 plus 4 equals 7. Ugh, friends, you're so good. Okay, and then the last one, here we go. If we know 4 plus something equals 7, what do we already know from our number bond? Yep, we know 4 is one of the parts. We know 7 is the total amount, so we just have to use the other part from our number bond to figure out how to solve that addition number sentence. Can you press pause, write a new addition sentence, 4 plus the other part is equal to 7, and then press play to check yourself? Perfect, here we go. 4 plus 3 is equal to 7, right? Yes, perfect job. That's because we knew the parts were related, so it was easy to fill in. It was pretty quick. See how we were able to use what we know about related facts, that they're all connected, so we can make a whole bunch of number sentences using the different parts? Super fun, right? Okay, take a deep breath. We're gonna do a really big challenge, but you can totally do it. Okay, I want you to go ahead and erase your dry erase board or get a new spot on your paper and pencil, because here we go. I'm gonna give you a new number bond. All right, in this number bond, I have 9 is the total amount, and then the two parts are 6 and 3. So this is what I would like you to do. We're going to write a number sentence. We're going to start with subtraction. And this is what I would like. I would like you to write a subtraction sentence where 9 is the total amount and you're subtracting this part. Okay, you're subtracting 6. Can you write 9 minus 6 and then tell me, go ahead and finish the number sentence. What is it going to equal? Press pause while you do that and then press play to check yourself. Okay, so we just built a number sentence. We said 9 minus 6 because that's the part. What does it equal? Good job. 3. So your number sentence should be 9 minus 6 equals 3. Okay, now we're just going to build another subtraction sentence. We're going to start with the total amount and we're just going to subtract the other part. Okay, so on the other side of your board, or underneath that, because your board isn't stretched out like mine, I want you to do another subtraction number sentence where we're going to start with the total amount again, but this time we're going to subtract the other part, which is 3. So I want you to do 9 minus the 3 part, and then what that would equal. Go ahead and finish that number sentence, and then press play when you're ready to check yourself. Okay, do you have another subtraction number sentence that you built? Perfect. Yeah, we had 9 minus that other part, and that was 3, and that would equal 6. Do you see how, because we know they're related and they're all connected together, we can just keep building number sentence after number sentence, knowing what we know about how we can create numbers and break them apart into different parts? This is super fun, right? Yeah, it's not scary. All right, perfect. All right, now we did 2 subtraction sentences. Should we go ahead and do some addition sentences? Yeah, I love addition sentences. So this time, I want you to write an addition sentence starting with 6, add it to a part, and then tell me the total amount. Okay, so you're going to write an addition sentence starting with 6, and then use the other parts in the total amount to come up with the rest of it. Press pause while you do that. Press play to check yourself. Okay, did you write a number sentence starting with 6? All right, does yours look like 6 plus 3 is equal to 9? Ooh, yeah, because we took the two parts, 6 and 3, and then we know that equals 9. I know that because it's in the number bond, and that's exactly what a number bond is showing us. Okay, let's write one more addition sentence. Are you ready? All right, for this one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with 3. So we're going to start with the part 3. We're going to use what we know about those related facts to build out another addition sentence. So press pause while you do it. Press play to check yourself. Okay, did you write an addition number sentence? I hope you did. Did you say 3 plus 6 is equal to 9? Good job, friends. Yeah, we can use what we know about related facts to help us build a whole bunch of number sentences. This is really just showing how the numbers are connected, how totals and parts, when they work together, can make the total. We're just using what we already knew about number bonds to really help us see how we can build different number sentences. and find unknowns. Our learning goal for today says, I can find the unknown using related facts. And that's exactly what we did. And so when you're working today, if you have a number sentence and you figure out what the number bond is, that will help you to build a whole bunch more number sentences and find unknowns because of how they're connected or how they're related. You did a great job. All right. Good luck, friends. See you next time.